Down. Welcome to Joe's Atmosphere.
Cook your shrimp, please. All of a sudden, my shrimp pan is burning up like a smell test.
Okay.
Crazy old man yelling at me over there. I don't know. He's had a lot of that.
But you know what? He's the great. You know why? Because they believe. They believe in everything.
Have you seen this man? He's a dangerous man. Stay out of Gators in Dallas, Texas, or you might run into him on a Thursday night. Hey, Big Daddy, how you doing? It's
Doing
been
good. Long time no see.
It's
Long
been
time no see.
It's been 3 weeks since the brothers have attempted to hack the Matrix.
How's my audio, man?
Your audio is fantabuloso. You look good.
So,
I hear you just fine.
so how was your trip to the Gator and everything? Talk about that a little bit.
Oh, man, that was a lot of fun. Let me tell you, man. Met some cool people. Ran into, of course, that video was Drunk 3PO was walking around doing a stream, and I went running up to him during it. I was all coroned up, having a good time. I stay away from the hard stuff, though. I didn't do no Jack Daniels that night. But
What?
got to meet all the guys that have inspired me to do this stuff over the last about 3 years, I'd say. I've been really into YouTube. I got to meet young Ripa, who's, I'm working on a comic book. He's doing an entire universe of comic books. I mean, he's got a warehouse to put all the stuff in, and it should be coming out anytime soon. It's called Ripaverse, and got to meet Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, the guy that got me into all this stuff, doing those Last of Us 2 videos about 3 years ago. It was just a lot of fun, man. Got to meet a lot of guys. Of course, couldn't spend much time with them because that place only held 190 people, Dan, and it was packed to the gills. I mean, and they had they had people in line to talk to them. So,
and that was Thursday night too, huh?
Yeah, it was last Thursday. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Now, we didn't do it 2 weeks before because, one, you had to go to Pennsylvania to see about Bo, right?
Yes.
And that was a success from what I understand.
Yeah, he's on the mend. He's doing well. And then the week after that, when I got back, I contracted COVID, so that wiped me out for a good bit. So, but feeling much better now. Energy levels back and good to go.
Oh, that'll work, man. All right.
Hack the Matrix.
You ready to hack into the Matrix? Well, let's take a look at what's going on, man. Let's take a look at the top of the heap stuff we got. And what we got to start with this week is, of course, we always start with the update on what's going on in the Ukraine. Apparently, the State Department confirmed a couple of days ago second American death in the Ukrainian war. I don't know why any Americans are over there. I don't know. But
You know why? They're over their advisors. We're giving them weapons, and they're going to be over there advising,
yeah,
on strategic things, logistics things, how-to things. So we're going to have Americans over there, and yeah. So there you go.
yeah. Well, like I said, the sooner we get out of there, the better. That's about all I got to say about that, buddy.
I have to say that I've been, like I said, I've been out of the loop for 2 weeks or so. What is the situation there? I mean, are there talks? Are they still attacking one another? What's the
Yeah, I
situation there?
mean, there's still fighting going on, but from what I understand, Macron out of France, I think, is trying to get them to the table. He's trying to get those guys to talk to each other, and and I can't confirm everything I've heard. I mean, I'd have to dig into it some more, but from what I understand, it's the Ukrainians that don't want to talk. So,
Well, yeah, you came in and kicked our freaking door down,
yeah.
stomped all over our backyard, and I mean, you see videos of mass graves and just really some really humanitarian atrocities going on over there. You're hard to get them to the table. And their leader, he seems like he's pretty hardcore, man. He's a patriot, that's for sure, for his country. So,
Not bad for a comedian, huh?
hey,
It's
it
pretty
takes
neat.
somebody special to
The
be able
people
to
that
make
are
people
are the
laugh, dude.
bigwigs in that country. You know who the mayor of the biggest city there is, right? The
I
capital
don't know, is
city.
it the ex-boxer?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah. Hey, there's some hard people over there.
Klitschko,
Look,
man.
you spend
Yeah.
that kind of time in the cold weather, you're going to be a hard person, man. When I lived in Pennsylvania, northeastern PA, I couldn't figure out why people were so grouchy all the time until that first winter hit, and I'm like, oh, okay, I got it now.
I
I was
understand
pissed for
now,
six
right?
years living up there, man. It was just woo cold. But yeah, they're I just yeah, it's just still hard for me to wrap my head around the fact that uh, a big power like the Soviet Union or Russia decided to kick in the door of a little neighbor next to him. So I don't know what it's going to take to appease that. That's going to be some serious negotiations going on there because they didn't do that on a whim. They're wanting something, and they're not going to walk away with nothing. And Ukraine, to
You'll
their
get
credit,
nothing and like it. Oh,
you
I'm
know
gonna
what I
have to
mean?
clip
So
that
hey,
out, dude. I'm gonna have to clip that out from Caddyshack, dude. You'll
I
get
don't
nothing
blame
and
them,
like it.
right?
Yes. Yes. Okay, man. The next one we got to look at under the top headlines is, of course, this this dog and pony show they got going on in Capitol Hill right now.
Yeah.
Day 5 of the January 6 hearings. Trump's plan to topple the DOJ and more. Okay. All right.
What is
Sounds
the end
awesome.
game here,
The end
other
game
than
is,
to tarnish Trump's name more?
yeah, because they know who they're facing next time
Yeah,
around. And,
yeah.
I mean, Dan, if they had to run an election right now for president, who would win, do you think? I mean, you know.
Well, I didn't think Trump was going to lose the second term after the performance of the administration and the direction of the country, both on a national and a global scale. We were doing really well, and the world seemed to be stable, and out he goes. It's not
2,000
enough
mules.
about policy and what the administration does. It's about how popular your personality is. So
Nah.
if it comes down to a personality, vote,
They voted in
soft wins.
a really personable guy, huh? Yeah, that's neat. All right. Also, we hear out of Uvalde, the big gun capital of the world right now. At least 11 officers with 2 rifles and a ballistic shield were inside Robb Elementary School at 11:52 a.m. Ladies and gentlemen, that's within 3 minutes of the first call. They got them in there. but didn't confront the gunman for another 58 minutes, according to a new report. Now, I read in this report that they were waiting for a door to get unlocked that wasn't even locked.
Well, policy is that these doors are supposed to be locked.
You're right.
But it wasn't locked, and it's, let's throw some stones now because, the people that are going in there, the police, are going under the assumption that these doors are locked.
Right.
And no, they weren't locked. So,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Again, the cops are going to come off looking like assholes. So I can tell you this, all these different reports that were coming out, it just seems that the communication was not very good.
No.
Across the board.
No.
So
it doesn't.
It's hard to run an op when you don't have good communication.
And I've done that job before, man. I saw enough. I saw enough on a military base, which you and I both know is much tamer than the civilian world. I saw enough in the 3 years I did that to know I didn't want to be a civilian cop. And today with the body cams and everything, like we were talking earlier this week, man, that's becoming one of the toughest jobs in the world. I mean,
you couldn't pay me enough money to be a cop.
Yeah, and they don't get paid enough. It's ridiculous.
And they get spit on, and they get. I mean, shoot, your license and registration. You got a tail light out. Bam! Now you're dead. You got shot in the face by some crackhead.
Yeah,
there you go.
It's dumb, man. It's completely dumb. All right.
Yeah, I couldn't. They couldn't pay me enough to do that job. I mean, I admire them, and I'll tell you this: every experience that I've had and every run-in that I've had with the police was not a good one. But I still respect the job that they do because you talk about wading in the filth and there's just the mentally disturbed on a daily basis, and they do that. They put the uniform on, they do it.
I've never, of course, I don't know. I guess my perception's a little different. I've gotten 2 DWIs in my life, and I've never had a problem with a cop.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
And I mean, I've been stopped, and weed confiscated off me before, I mean, but it was all me messing up when I was a kid,
Hell, you remember I was on the phone with you that morning that my house got robbed and the cop accused me of calling
yeah,
my
I remember that.
Oh,
yeah, those guys are like,
what?
yeah, I couldn't believe all that was going on. I was like, man, my brother's got the worst luck in the world when it comes to the cops. Good Lord. But
with that being said, I still respected the job that they do and
I know.
the people that do it, man.
You've done ride-alongs with your local cops there where you
I
live,
haven't done the
you?
ride-along, but I started their civil academy and blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, I mean, again, the job that they do and what they're asked to do and just the lack of support for the blue is just dwindling almost daily.
It is, and it's a shame. Well, we'll wrap. Excuse me, guys. We'll wrap this subject up with this one here. Senators unveil text of bipartisan deal on gun violence, setting up a speedy vote. Now, the details of this. Let me make sure I've got it here. There was details on this. Where are they?
You have to keep scrolling down.
I think it's below these pictures.
Yeah. You're talking about expanding background checks for 18 to 21.
Yeah.
More funding for social programs and mental health programs and where's the money come? I tell you, for me, whenever I hear bipartisan support and speedy vote, it's not good.
Yeah, here it is. Key provisions of the legislation text focus on so-called boyfriend loophole in a previous federal ban on convicted domestic abusers having guns, and in expanding federal background checks for 18 to 21-year-olds who want to purchase firearms. So that's what's going on.
Yeah, and you and
that.
I were talking about that the other day. I wonder how that's going to slow down the process of, at the MEP station for,
right, vetting guys joining the military. Yeah.
Guys and girls join the military and, They do have their own UCMJ, but I guarantee you the civilian political world will overlap, and the military is going to go the way of whatever the politicians bring into law. So
Right.
I wonder how that's going to affect the in processing, across all the major armed forces. So there's going to be an effect for that. But bipartisan and speedy vote, never a good thing.
Yep. Okay. Well, enough of the hard stuff. Let's get to some fun stuff, man. Let's get to some stuff we enjoy, shall we? Let's talk about the Jock Strap for this week. Yeah, let's see what them high-priced millionaires are doing this week. And you know what? Our first story actually happens to be the Simple Jack Award winner for this week. Danny's Simple Jack Award goes out to none other than, if I can find it, Deshaun Watson.
I'm not settling anything.
Deshaun Watson, the man that's not going to settle a damn thing, settles 20, count them, 20 of the 24 cases against Cleveland Browns quarterback have been settled. He's still got 4. The main girl that brought up the whole thing is still going to push forward with hers and 3 other women. But the first of 24 lawsuits filed against Deshaun Watson alleging sexual misconduct came in March 2021. Original complainant Ashley Solis, listen to me. Solis. Yeah, I need this Simple Jack Award, don't I?
Gonna get
is
painted.
One of the 4 cases said not to be settled, according to their lawyer. Watson has denied all accusations. Now, Dan.
Well, then why are you the guy is, there's going to be more. Now he's settling these things. They're going to be more.
Yeah.
What did the New York Times say? He had like 60-something masseuses that he either hit up or used, or why a guy, an elite athlete, doesn't have one masseuse and one trainer is beyond me. I've never heard of a guy having so many different masseuses in so many different locations.
And he he went to a good source for him. He went to Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram.
Known That's where he's looking for people to work on his physique and keep it in 100% tip-top shape. Yeah.
Yeah, he's an idiot. I mean, he's a flat-out idiot, and I don't know how this guy gets away with that. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what the NFL does with him, because to date they've just really been hands off on him. But it's going to be interesting to see what their stance is.
They've said there's going to be a suspension. They said there's going to be a suspension.
Are they going to give him 3 days, 3 games, or something like that?
I don't know. I don't know. But they said there's going to be a suspension. It's going to be significant. That's what they said.
And if you're a Browns fan, do you support that team?
If you're a Browns fan, you got to question the front office of that place. I mean, are you vetting the players you're bringing in? What are you doing?
Do you support that team?
Sounds like there's a lot of Simple Jack Awards that could be handed
all
out
the way
in Cleveland.
Around. But yeah, him coming out and not even a week later, he's settling a bunch of these cases when he says he's not going to settle and blah blah blah. Yeah, the guy's an idiot. Money does not cultivate intelligence. I'm telling you, man. It's just people are who they are. So good for him. You, sir, are the winner of the Simple Jack Award. And that's all I have to say about that.
Never go full retard.
You should never go full retard, ever.
Never go full retard.
And he did, didn't he?
He did.
Okay.
And he continues to go full
He
retard.
does. He continues to go full retard. All right. Next up from the NFL, Rob Gronkowski announces retirement from the NFL a second time. Again! He will be retiring again. Okay.
Look, I think he's done. I really, yeah. What does he got to come back for?
That
I mean,
big
really.
lummox needs to be done. But
Well, that
him
tight
and
end
his
position
buddy.
is a tough position. That
He-
tight end position is tough.
Oh yeah, that guy gets pounded, and the size he
Oh,
is, the
yeah.
bigger they are, the harder
yeah.
they fall. You know, he's gonna have a hard
Yeah.
time walking when he gets old, dude. You know that.
His
His
got some
spine is gonna
miles
be
on him.
jacked up. His legs are gonna be jacked up. I mean, yeah. I love hey, Gronk, we love you, man, but I'm glad to
he's a
see you
ball
hang
player,
him up.
for
I
sure.
really am.
Yeah, he needs to go ahead and hang him up.
He
you know.
does. Oh my gosh, man. Oof.
He's been good for the NFL, but
Yes, he has.
Yeah, he needs.
Yes,
he
he
needs
has.
to let that go.
It's
So,
time for
he got
him
nothing
to.
else to prove.
It's time for him to go like Pat McAfee and go ahead and go to wrestling, man. Have a good time doing that. Yeah,
Go to wrestling.
that's right. Well, hey, he's a wrestling fan. He was at WrestleMania, dude.
Oh hell.
Yeah.
Okay
Oh,
then.
yeah, he's a
He'll
wrestling
be
fan.
tag teaming with somebody. Watch.
Well, he ain't gonna wrestle. I'm just saying trust me, he'll be in one of these promotions in some
Sure.
way, shape, or form. Pat McAfee's an announcer on SmackDown every week, dude.
Yeah.
You ever watch this podcast? It's pretty good.
I have not. I have not. Are we doing anything with Tony Saragusa or no? That he just.
Nah, I
that
didn't
story
cover
jumps up in
those.
my
There's
head, too.
there is something going on in Baltimore. They've had 2 deaths in that organization in the last 48 hours.
Yeah, it's tough. Saragusa is the one that really, because we watched a lot of him when I was younger, and
The Goose. Yeah.
what a character, what a lively guy, right? And then when he was on the sidelines, he really brought an element to the commentary from a player's perspective that
He
was
was even in
enjoyable.
movies too, man. He's in one of
Yeah.
my favorite movies, man. My favorite Spike Lee joint, as he likes to call it. Friggin' what's the name of that movie? The 25th Hour. He's the
25th
guy
Hour
that
with Ed Norton.
he's the guy that screwed Ed Norton. Yeah.
Yeah,
you
he
know?
did.
So
That was sad. When I saw that, I was like, that's a bummer, because the guy just seemed like he had a big personality. It seemed like he was big, full of life. Did they talk about
I
cause
have
of death for him?
all of these things when they first bring them out, they never say what the cause was and all that stuff. But you know what? When we saw him after he retired, it doesn't look like he lost the weight, Dan, and that's not good for him.
Yeah,
you
he
see
didn't-
these linemen, and when they leave, all of a sudden they get skinnier. It's because they just
Right.
bulked up for playing because they needed the leverage. But
Yeah.
I don't think he ever did. I don't think he ever lost that weight. And
He was a big dude. That's
he
for
was.
Sure.
He was a huge man, mammoth dude. I mean, the picture I saw in the paper when they announced it was him doing the belly flop on Gannon in that playoff
Oh yeah,
game.
he smashed him.
Yeah,
just
he
smashed
did.
him. He took up so much room on the interior that allowed Ray Lewis to run to the ball carrier because he didn't have to take on blocks. They had a couple big guys right there in the middle. And Tony Saragusa was one of them that would take on 2 blockers, 3 blockers at a time, and allow these, Ray Lewis specifically, to be able to run to the ball carrier. So
You know what Gannon was saying, right?
what? He should have thrown in the towel before that Super Bowl, man. They had his playbook. He looked like a fool.
Man.
You
Too
talk about a
much.
journeyman that got to the Super Bowl. That was crazy.
Speaking of throwing in the towel, bad news for us in the NBA.
Yeah, damn it.
Bad news for us in the NBA.
Yeah.
Our beloved
What are you gonna
Celtics.
do?
They couldn't beat
What are you
that
gonna do?
dynasty from the western part of the United States.
I just couldn't bring myself to watch any of those games, man.
I watched
And I
game
hear the
one.
ratings were.
I
heard the
watched
ratings
game
were
one,
terrible.
and I was shocked that they won. I was completely shocked that they won because I thought they were going to get steamrolled by this team because this is the team. This is the modern-day dynasty. They are. I mean,
Bro, they only played the Golden State once this past year, and they blew their doors off. I thought they'd have a good showing, and they had 2 victories, but
who's
just
got
could
more
not-
finals experience, though, Dan? I mean,
I don't give a shit about that. It's
Wow.
just who's playing well, right?
Okay.
Look, Chicago. Who was the first team that they beat in the finals? Do you remember?
first team they beat in the finals. No, I don't,
The Los Angeles Lakers.
because I wasn't really watching it then. So,
Ran them right off. Yeah, you were. That was back the end of the Bird era.
well,
But I mean, it just shows you that. I mean, the king, long live the king. But the king is dead, and the Golden State will go down at some point. The Celtics They played a good brand of basketball, but they just couldn't finish. But they'll rally. I like what they've done restructuring. Danny Ainge is out as the GM. They got that young coach up in the GM box, and I think the Celtics are going to be an upward trend. I really think you're going to see that. But as far as the NBA goes, man, their ratings again were in the tank.
They were. Yeah, they've
got
got some serious
PR.
PR.
To watch, dude.
They have got some serious PR work to do because I tell you what, man. I mean, do you think it was because LeBron wasn't in it this year?
No, I mean their trend is for the last 10 years has been going south. It's got nothing to do with LeBron. It's the brand of basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not fun to watch at all.
Yeah.
It really isn't.
Hi.
So,
Let's see. All right. The next one we got. Well, do we really want to look at that? No, we're not looking at baseball because Boston's third in the damn division. We don't care about
Which
baseball.
is better than where they were, dude. It's a long season, so.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care.
Long season, man.
I know it's a long season. That's why I don't watch it. It's 162 games. Who has time to keep up with that? It's ridiculous. You know when I start watching them is if they get out of the first round of the playoffs. That's when I start watching them. That's when I give a shit. So, and speaking of the playoffs, the Stanley Cup playoffs are going on right now, and the Avalanche took a game up on them last night.
They're up 3-1. They have taken the Lightning to the brink. They won in overtime, and it is 3-1 now.
Yes, it is.
But I'm sorry, 3-1 is not the end of the series.
And
you know what
why?
they say?
Yeah, we know what they say.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man.
And there you go.
There it is,
Not
baby.
over yet.
You got to beat the man to be the man. Yes, it's not over yet. But, hey, all I got to do is win one.
One game.
One.
Right? That's all.
The man's got to win 3.
Game, right?
Yeah.
Ask the Philadelphia 76ers in 1980, up 3-1 on the Boston Celtics Eastern Conference Final. How'd that end? I think we all know.
Boston has a tendency of doing that. Just ask the New York Yankees.
That's right.
What year was that?
3-0.
What year was that?
2004.
That was 04? Is that what it was?
04.
04.
That's when we knocked the freaking Bambino's curse in
We
the
got
shitter.
rid of the Bambino's curse, and then we swiftly went in and took the Cardinals to task.
The Cardinals.
Swept the Cardinals. 8 postseason wins in a row. Has it ever been done before? I don't think it has.
Senior October.
Yes, Ortiz. I miss him, man. You know I don't watch baseball as much as you do, but I was watching back then. That guy, the Sultan of SWAT, whatever the hell they called him. Senior October. He was awesome.
Big Poppy, dude. Big Poppy.
Yeah, Big
Senior
Poppy.
October, man.
Awesome
and they
stuff.
kept pitching to him. You want to talk about a guy that's got in runners and scoring position in the playoffs, dude.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best ever. And they just kept pitching to this guy. Then he kept smashing them.
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, go ahead.
Senior October, pretty damn cool. All right, now we got a few more sports stories here. This one I really like. FINA bars transgender swimmers from women's elite events if they went through male puberty. This is the first step of getting transgender players out of a sport. I like that a lot. And I think I've said this before. They need their own friggin' division if they're going to compete.
Absolutely. I mean, that is a level playing field.
Yeah,
that whole article is an indictment on the world we live in, man.
Yep.
We got to make sure that guys that used to be guys that are now girls can't compete with the girls. The idea we can't even figure out that that's just a natural advantage is, come on, man.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Give them their own category. Let them compete, which is fine. I've got no problem with that. But we're always talking about in sports a level playing field, right?
Yeah.
Give them their own category and let them battle it out, man.
Now, you yourself have said for the price of a ticket that you have to pay.
Everyone should be on steroids.
Everybody should be juicing, but this is different. I mean, this is different. This is a whole different level of advantage that these men have against women. I mean, just physically.
It is. I'm sorry. It is. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, physics is what it is. Biology is what it is. Anatomy is what it is.
The science is what it is. I'm sorry.
I just feel sorry for these young women that have trained since they can remember to get to a certain place in their sport, and to have the rug pulled out from that, to me, is totally disrespectful.
Yeah, it is
to the women. It just is.
Now the argument
and the
has been put
that
forth.
They make, and the investment in their family makes,
yeah.
and just have it all taken away like that for some political agenda, that's bullshit.
Now the argument that has been put forth that I've heard is, why aren't they banding together and protesting this and trying to get it stopped? That's something we're not seeing, you know.
Protesting the right for these people to
the transgender
compete?
People competing against them. In other words, you line them all up to start a meet, gun goes off, the transgender guy goes in, they all stand there and watch him swim.
Yeah, but you have seen some of the big name athletes come out publicly to risk themselves, because look,
yeah,
if you come out against that in today's political world, today's climate,
yeah,
you stand to lose a lot of money in endorsements, man, because these people that are doing swimming and track and field, they make their money in endorsements.
Yeah.
So if you come out publicly and make a public stance, you better be ready to give up, because I guarantee you Nike will drop you.
Yeah.
Converse
well, the pendulum's starting to swing, Dan. It's going to take a while, but it's starting to swing. It's starting to swing.
I believe these people should have a right to compete, but they just need to have their own category. That's all.
Yep.
And then it's level playing field.
Yep.
That's all that should be discussed there.
Yep. Now, speaking of a level playing field, let's check out what these millionaires are doing over here. We got another golf superstar reportedly leaves the PGA Tour for LIV. Now, if you don't know what LIV is, folks, it's a Saudi Arabian league they've set up to get them to come play in Saudi Arabia. And you see it, I'm pretty sure that's a picture of Lefty right there. He was one of the first major names that went over there. And the PGA is taking a stance of suspending guys that take the money and run to LIV. They are suspending them from the PGA Tour. So now there's, it's millionaires chasing more money for sure. But, it just feels like they're kind of selling out to the devil to me. But the guys that is benefiting is the guys that are lower on the money earning tier in the PGA. They're able to go over there and make a flat rate that's way more than they'd make in a year here on the PGA Tour. So I think that's why PGA's taking that stance. They're losing the younger, inexperienced players. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, the younger, inexperienced players just seems to go hand in hand with today's society. They don't give a shit about, the prestige of the PGA and these majors events. And look, when you're getting thrown a lot of money to go and play in a tournament where there's no cutoff,
yeah,
everybody wins.
Yeah,
everybody gets paid. So, I mean, when you're taught everybody wins, that's the way you go. Now that
so to your point, they're going to LIV to get their participation trophy, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's exactly right. But they're throwing in with the Saudis and the money that's coming from the Saudi Arabia. And look at Saudi Arabia's stance on women's rights.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
saw
horrific.
somebody talking about. I saw a tweet today. Somebody tweeted out. It was a chick. And one of my friends that a total lefty was agreeing with her. She had tweeted out, she said, I pray for the day when women have as many rights as guns do. And I just felt like, I didn't do it, but I felt like just tweeting her back, why don't you go to Saudi Arabia, see how many rights you have over there?
I mean, and that's what these guys that are, look, Lefty, this fucking dude, I mean, hey. Never been a big fan of his anyway, but whatever, but he's making a choice,
Yeah.
He's putting his name under the guise of to me, dirty money, dude. Because those people over there, um, it's a very male-oriented society, and women are definitely second class, maybe even third class, man.
Right.
So, I mean, if you've got no problem taking money from that, and I can't believe Greg Norman's got his name thrown in the hat with that whole league over there.
Right.
That's disappointing because I was a big fan of his, but no more, man. Because if that's the truth, I'm sorry, you're making a choice by taking that money, and you're standing on right in line with what their thoughts and feelings are over there,
Yeah.
for better or worse.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the
Mm-hmm.
way it is.
It's kind of goofed. It's kind of goofed.
I think the PGA will survive. Um, the guys that want to compete at the highest level and want that pressure of making the cut, getting into Saturday and Sunday, and really showing what they're made of. They're going to stay with the PGA.
Yeah,
They are.
for sure. And the
So,
guys that do go do it, hey, all we got to say is this.
Never go full retard.
never go full retard.
Come on, man. Are you serious? You're going to go full retard? What the hell?
Why are you gay?
What? Say what?
You're
The,
throwing
what'd
it
you
with
say
the
there?
Saudis, man.
What'd you say?
Why are you gay?
Oh my God. My man. Okay, so moving on, we are going to get into some entertainment now. Still haven't come up with another name for this segment, but you know what we're talking
Flix.
about, folks. It's the stuff we dig. It's entertainment. It's entertainment. It's all about the flicks and the comic books and all that good stuff. And we're going to get into, of course, our weekly report on the top movies. And I really dig this one. I'm looking forward to sharing this with you, Dan, because the number one movie this week, was it Pixar's Lightyear? All that money they put into that movie? $200 million cartoon, digital cartoon, with Captain America voicing Buzz Lightyear. I thought that was supposed to be Tim Allen, man. Anyway, they made $50 million this last weekend, and Jurassic World Dominion, by all accounts from what I've heard, a garbage movie that lost 59% of its gross. Lightyear got beat by $9 million on that account. Top Gun Maverick,
There's a good movie.
$6 million below it, inching ever closer to the $1 billion mark, something that Doctor
was a good
Strange
movie.
still hasn't done yet. Doctor Strange is number 4. It made $4 million. But the heavy hitters this week were Jurassic World Dominion, Lightyear, and Top Gun Maverick. Now, I just think it's funny as hell that Lightyear is paying the price for its idiot attitude. And what I have to say about idiot attitude is this. It's becoming a common theme when they have something controversial in a movie. The first thing they do before the movie even comes out is attack the fans. And Chris Evans, I love him as Captain America, but his statement about if you don't agree with the politics in the movie, you're an idiot. I was
when you live an
really?
insulated life and fantasy world and bubble, you can say that kind of stuff because the people around you are going to be kissing your ass and yes, you're saying the right thing as you thumb your nose at your audience.
Now,
and they're going
to Disney's credit, I do have to give them credit where credit is due. They actually are going to keep the girl-on-girl kiss in the movie, even though Saudi Arabia and the Middle Eastern countries won't show it and all that good stuff. Hey, Ken, what's going on? Oh, you're at work? Oh, you must be working second shift, bro. Cool. Good to see you, man. We've gotten to the movie part of the show. Yeah, it's they do live in a bubble, Dan, and they're smelling their own farts, and they think whatever they threw up there is going to work, So.
Oh yeah, I mean
It's just dumb, man. It's dumb. And look, Top Gun
Jurassic
Maverick.
Park was a straight up dumpster fire, dude. I didn't care for it at all, but that's just my opinion.
Just from the trailers, it looked like it had way too much going on in it. It looked like it was going to be a muddled mess of a movie. It looked like it had too many characters in it to me.
It did, and the
but-
story was all over the place. It wasn't much of a plot. It just really wasn't well put together. I mean, the best part of the movie, again, the way they seem to close all their movies is when the T-Rex comes back and does his thing, you know?
Yeah.
That's the best part of these freaking movies anymore, you know?
Yep.
Everybody wants to see the T-Rex win, so the
Right.
rest of that movie, crap.
Yeah. Complete crap. Complete
Crap,
crapper.
crap.
Complete crapper. But
Best movie I've seen in a long time was that Maverick, though.
yeah,
I was,
Maverick,
you know,
and
I
it's
was not
still
hyped
going
about
strong.
going
It
to
made,
see that, but it was
dude,
very
it
good.
made $44 million this weekend.
Yeah, it was very good.
I mean,
You
it's
know what
still
that was?
making money.
That was old cinematography, old movies. You go to the movies to get away from reality and to be entertained. And that's what that movie gave you, meat and potatoes. It was a great movie. Really
Yeah.
was.
It speaks to the strength of the practical effects, you know, the really putting guys in cockpits and seeing actual planes. I mean, you could tell there was a couple of CGI moments, but not many. Most of that was real footage being shot of those planes, and a whole lot of fun to watch. And look, dude, guys, if you haven't seen this movie, the friggin' cameo that Val Kilmer does, if it doesn't get you, then you don't have a heart, because it was awesome. It really was. The way they put him in the movie was freaking just dynamite. It really was. It really spoke it's a movie that spoke to the fans of the first movie. I mean, it really did. It was really good. I enjoyed it.
It really was.
Yep.
You know, and if you enjoy a good action movie, just a well shot, entertaining movie for everybody, you dig that movie. Yeah.
Yep.
It's hard not to like that movie.
All right, we have some sad news out of Hollywood this week. 2 Netflix actors are dead, and others are injured following a car crash. This happened 5 days ago. A couple of cast members of The Chosen. I'll have to do some more research and see who they were, but it's a show that's been on a few seasons on Netflix. They died in a car wreck. Apparently, a bunch of them were in a car, and I'm not sure if alcohol was involved or not. But
you don't have any specifics about that?
No, I really don't know. I'm looking at it now. Statement regarding how production. Yeah, it's just talking about the actors and stuff. Okay, what was the next thing we had? Oh yeah. Here we go. You want to talk about a sign of the times? Here we go, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
The mouse is in the
Can we
house.
go back just for a second? Do you have the names of the actors that passed away?
Let's see if they're in here. Raymond Garduno Cruz and Juan Francisco Gonzalez Aguilera were revealed to have died in the accident. The Chosen One, I don't know. I don't even know those actors, and I've never seen the show. I've never seen the show. It's adapted from a comic book series, apparently, though.
Yeah.
Yep. But anyway.
Well, Godspeed, man. Sorry, that happened, and be interesting to see if there's any, extenuating circumstances there.
No,
the
I'll keep looking.
Wouldn't bring anybody back, but it'd be interesting to see.
Yep. Yeah, apparently we got another pedo working for Disney, man. Polk County Sheriff reports Walt Disney World bus driver arrested in latest child predator sting, and he also says, quote, "We always have a Disney employee."
Wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm sure you've heard the term groomer, and we're going to talk about a big one here near the end of the show. But, yeah, man, these guys are going to...
He looks like a special kind of asshole. I mean, look at this guy.
You want to see him again? Okay, here you go.
No, I'm looking at him right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, he looks like a special kind of asshole.
Yeah. He was a bus driver in Florida, I guess at Disney World, I guess. I don't know if they have Disneyland, Disney World. I don't know what they got there. But
So the Polk County Sheriff's Report, the sheriff's office is saying we always have a Disney employee.
yes, that's what he said. We always have a Disney employee. Let me see the exact quote. Let's see.
Bunch of freaks
Four
over there
suspects-
in Disney, man.
4 suspects showed up in undercover location, Polk County, at separate times to meet who they thought were children to sexually batter them.
What?
Yeah, it was a sting operation. I'm looking for the exact quote here. I don't see it in there.
Well.
Yep.
Again, sign of the times, man. That seems to be the thing, right? Child
no.
abduction.
You froze there for a second, brother. I
all
don't know
that
what
shit.
happened, but you froze for a second there. You're all right, though.
Yep.
Yeah, what is going on with the mouth? That's a good question. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, now we're going to the comic book world. First
Give it
ever,
up for Captain America, dude.
first ever Captain America book sells for £2.4 million at auction.
That's
2.4 million
amazing.
pounds. That's crazy. Let me see if they have a
see.
picture of the actual comic book. No, they don't. Of course they don't. I should have pulled one up. But let's see. They've got a story about it, but I'm not going to sit there and play that. Disney hit me with a MCA strike. But yeah,
that translates to $2,940,960 US.
Wow, man. That's proper money, bro.
So somebody likes Captain America in his original form.
Somebody digs Captain America in his original form. Yes, he does, man.
Appreciates the old Star-Spangled Soldier.
Somebody
So,
over there in
good for him.
the greatest of Britons. Yeah.
Good for him. Good for
All
him.
right. Yeah, Danny wanted to talk about this too before we got out of here. Hang on.
I'm always on the lookout for new
10 new comics
innovative-
of June 2022. You should check out. Let's take a look here. I like the artwork on some of this stuff.
It's just going to go through a lot of different titles and things like that. But
Did you see anything that caught your eye in it?
I really didn't get a good look at it yet. There's something I wanted to look at after the show, but just looking for what I'm really looking for is something that in the traditional vein, but just modern. I don't care for vampires and shit like that.
Yeah.
But the artwork looked really good.
Yeah, this is from Step by Bloody Step. And then we got number 9 was Orphan and the Five Beasts. Wow. That looks like a cosmic
really cool.
type story right there.
Yeah.
Justice Warriors number 1. What? Justice Warriors?
Justice Warriors.
I'm scared, man. I'm scared. By the Horns. Dark Earth 1. That's pretty cool looking. Let's see. Lonesome Hunters, number 1. Of course, this comes from what website did you bring us to here, man? This is from Cultured Vultures. It's the name of it, I think. Is that right? Yeah, culturedvultures.com. Go check that out, guys.
So yeah, check that out if you're in the market for something new other than DC, Marvel, just woke craziness. And of course, this stuff might be woke stuff as well, but it's something new. If you're interested in independent,
oh man,
stuff,
it's got to be better than Gay
outside the
Superman.
mainstream.
It's definitely got to be better than Gay Superman, doesn't it? I mean, oh my God, the two majors are just doing crazy stuff, man. That's why my man Rippa is getting into the Rippaverse.
Yeah.
And, I'm also getting into throwing my hat in the ring. I've started work on the on the privateer. I started
I was gonna say
doing the
you had that GIF
sketches.
you're gonna put up.
I,
Really
I,
good stuff.
I started the sketches and everything, and I'm broadcasting it on Twitch every Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm broadcasting that and letting folks watch me building a comic book. A guy that's never done it. I'm a portrait guy. I draw faces for a living, but I'm actually jumping into the comic book genre. And many people like the story I've written of this guy, and and my bro says it's gonna sell. So,
Hell
you
yeah,
know,
it's gonna sell, dude.
and
So
and
let
if
me
it
ask you
wasn't
this
now, you
question
got to
here.
know. My brother would tell me if he thought it was horse shit. So,
Oh, absolutely. Now you write the story first, and then you build
yeah,
your storyboards around the dialogue and all.
yeah. What happened? What happened was, I'm just using a format that I learned. I don't know if you remember me having this thing, but I had this big book. It was called the Marvel Tryout Book, and
Mhm.
what it did was in 5-page sections. I think it was 30 pages altogether, right? You went backwards in the process of making a comic book. Okay, like the first 5 pages, you had to color everything. Okay, the words and everything were in there, and then I think the next 5 pages you had to hand write. Of course, they didn't have computers and shit back then. You had to hand write the verbiage that was going to go in the clouds they supplied for you, right? I mean, it took a step back to each job doing a comic book, and then the last 5 pages were blank, and you had to do it all. You had to write them, you had to plot them, all of that stuff. So
Very cool, man.
I've had the story. I mean, the story was well, we'll get into that at a later date. I don't want to tie up the whole show with it, but it's been more than 20 years in the making. Okay, so I had a lot of people.
Well, I'm glad you're doing it, man. It's going to be successful. I know that. I know that.
Let's hope so, man. I'm
Yeah.
hoping so myself. Let's see. Where are we at? Oh yeah. You know what time it is, man. It's time for them earthquakes, bro. Them earthquakes.
earthquakes.
Them things that, they get a little crazy.
Yeah.
They get a little, oh, God, what are we going to do?
What is happening?
And this woman here just won't go away. Photos appearing showing Amber Heard and Cara Delevingne kissing go viral, and they were hang on, let me make sure there's no sound on this. Yeah, the sound's off, but this is from Newsweek. I believe the pictures came out of the infamous elevator up to the penthouse.
Yeah,
if you know what I'm talking about.
In that elevator, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit going on in that
I hope
elevator.
they got that thing sanitized. Gee whiz. What is going on with these freaking
I
elevator
just don't
folks,
know, man. I don't know what the hell is going on with it. I don't know if they show the pictures in this or not. We'll see.
These Hollywood types are just flat out freaks, man. They really are.
Yeah, they are. 2 million. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Did they show the pictures? No.
I hope not, man. Golly.
They are not showing the pictures. But you can look it up. But that's Cara Delevingne there. Anybody who's a fan of her, which I am a fan of her. I think she's pretty cool myself. But, I've liked it.
She looks like a freak.
She is a freak, dude. She is a freak. She was in a show on Amazon that I highly recommend. God, what was the name of that? Carnival Row, with her and Orlando Bloom. Orlando Bloom plays a detective. It's like in a steampunk era kind of thing. I think she plays a fairy in it, with like wasp wings and shit. It's got different mythical creatures in it and stuff, and it takes place in a waterfront urban area in a steampunk type thing, like from the 1800s or something. It's a pretty cool show, man. It's about the best thing she's ever done. She was in a big flop that everybody was really hyped about a few years back. That was a science fiction movie, something about 1,000 worlds or something like that. I can't remember the name of it.
I don't know.
It started with a V. I can't Valerium or something like that, I think was the name of the show. But anyway, let's see.
Vomit, maybe? You think maybe that was it? Maybe, I don't know.
Oh man.
Must have missed that
But
one.
but
no.
I just have one question for somebody just as fine as Kara is.
Why are you gay?
You know,
Why are you?
I've got to know, man. I've got to know. All right. Speaking of that, let's take a look at what Ezra Miller has amped it up to this time. You know, I was going to do a story about him being on the run with this 18-year-old and actually, influencing a 12-year-old. And the 18-year-old, by the way, Dan, that he's running around with right now, he's been influencing since they were 12, apparently. Or, as they say, grooming since they were 12. Well, now, apparently, guns, bullets, and weed.
Guns,
Ezra
bullets,
Miller
and weed.
housing 3
That sounds
young
like a good
children.
name for a rock and roll band.
Their mother, let's see, 3 young children and their mother at a Vermont farm. Sources claim the living conditions at the Flash Stars farm are unsafe for children, alleging there are weapons lying around and that a 1-year-old put a loose bullet in her mouth.
Oh.
Ay, ay, ay. Ay,
Guns,
ay, ay.
bullets, and weed.
Guns, bullets, and weed.
It's a great name for a rock and roll band.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you know.
Never go for retard.
It's just, this guy here, man. I don't know about all that, man. That's crazy. I just don't know what.
It's disappointing because I dug that guy as I thought he was really good as the Flash. Really, I mean, in that Justice League, I thought he really pulled that character off really well, and I really dug every scene he was in, man. But the guy is a freakazoid.
Yeah, they need to get him some help, man.
What's going on with you, bro?
They need to get him some help. He's off the deep end. He is off the reservation, bro. He is off the reservation. And what does this mean for that movie that they dumped millions of dollars into? That's supposed to be the big comeback of Michael Keaton's Batman, and oh my God, I mean.
Well, I mean, they'd have to scrap it, wouldn't they? I mean,
how
would
can
go see
they?
that now?
How can they? It is that this is supposed to be the driving force behind everything they're supposed to be putting out, bro. I mean, it's supposed to change their entire universe. It's supposed to take it from the Snyderverse, which they should have never done to begin with, if you ask me. They should have just stuck with the Snyderverse. But no.
They're trying to resurrect this freaking train wreck, and it's just not, I mean, and if this is the catalyst to everything else, I mean, here you go. It's just like we talked about Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
You know, the guy's a freak. Mm-hmm. He's obviously a freak.
Well, he needs help.
Moral compass.
That's the sad thing.
He's got a moral compass that's way off the. But will the fans go support the team despite this guy? Will the fans go see this?
That's
this
the
Flash
thing.
Movie despite
they're all
this guy?
hyped. Yeah, they're all hyped to see Michael Keaton as Batman again. You know.
So you don't care about the pedophile grooming freakazoid. Let's just concentrate on Michael Keaton.
Just craziness, man. It's crazy. And the shame of it is he's probably a product of coming up in the Hollywood system. Because how many child stars have we seen grow up and have drug problems and all kinds of shit? I mean, you got your Kurt Russells, you got your Ron Howards, you got guys that obviously had their family in their life to guide them through it, right? And were successful, but you got just as many what was the 2 guys' names in the damn Lost Boys movie? What? God, man, I can't even remember their names. You know who I'm talking about, though.
Kiefer Sutherland and Jason Patrick?
No. The 2 guys. One of them was one of the Frog Brothers, and the 2.
Oh, the 2.
And the young kid ended up being a drug addict too. The young kid, Jason Patrick's younger brother, that hooked up with the Frog Brothers. I mean, there's a lot of stories like that, and that's a shame of it. He's probably a product of that Hollywood system,
Well, here's the deal. Right now, if you're a young person coming up in today's world, you can't hide anything. Yeah, you named Ron Howard and Kurt Russell,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Those guys are old guys, man. I mean, their publicists and people around them could probably hide a lot of stuff that they did, and they came through it.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't hide anything today.
No.
Nothing.
No, you can't. Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Okay, let's take a look at this. Let's see. Are we at that point? Let me see. No, we're not. Okay. Another earthquake Dan wanted to look at was this one. Kentucky Supreme Court to review monument removal decision.
yeah, interesting.
Kentucky Supreme Court has agreed to consider a lawsuit that seeks to re-erect a statue of a Louisville civic and military leader who fought for the Confederacy before later renouncing it. So they've pulled this thing down. Is that what I'm taking? And they're filing a lawsuit to see it rebuilt,
Right.
put back in place. Wow.
See, and this is what happens when you have knee-jerk reactions and what do you call it, mob rule.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and all this shit goes on, and then after the dust settles, people are going to start looking back at these things, you know, because the worst thing you can do is forget or whitewash your history.
Yeah.
If you
for
do
sure.
that, and you're doomed to repeat.
Yeah.
The only way to understand our past is to acknowledge it,
Mm-hmm.
and then say, okay, this
And learn
was
from it.
wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and then we do right. But if you just wipe it out and act like it didn't exist, yeah, you're gonna keep doing it over and over.
It's gonna
If
happen
anything,
again.
we're digressing as a society, man. We're going backwards because of all the labels and all the separatist ideology, and just, you know, you can't trust him, or you can't trust her, and you can't. That's a problem, you know. And you know, we've said it before. Oh, I've said it before, and Reagan said it. This country will not fall from an outside invader. It'll fall from within.
Yeah. 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 That's why they.
So dead set on just destroying what is a beautiful idea.
That's why when you take that oath, it says all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Yep.
There's just as many domestic boys and
Yes,
girls.
sir.
Just as many.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, it's getting late in the day, Dan. I know you got to work tomorrow, so it's time to
Yes, have
turn
to
the
work.
turn out the lights, baby.
Turn
time
out the lights. The
Party's over. All good things.
That is a great knockout right there.
Yeah, it is, bro.
When Lennox took that guy out, ooh,
Pit
nasty
pat.
uppercut.
Just oh my God, yeah.
Get some.
Let's see it one more time. Just one more time before we get into our final thoughts. Pit pat. Oh man, damn. He didn't see that coming, bro. That was painful.
That was
Okay.
a nasty heavyweight knockout.
Yes, it was. Because it wasn't one punch. He snapped him with that first one and jolted him, and then just
Jolted him.
followed through with the other hand with the quickness. All right.
Mm.
Yeah, Lennox Lewis is one of the most underrated heavyweights ever. But then again, and there's a reason for that, though, because he showed you the amount of respect he had for you when he walked in the ring. If he showed up fat, he didn't care about you, and he didn't train for you. And he did that a couple of times. But that was the second fight against Rahman, and he was ready for that dude that night.
Yeah, every time he lost, he always avenged his loss, except for the Klitschko one, sent him into retirement.
Yeah, it
because
did. Well, I mean, they all got to
Klitschko
hang
was
him up eventually.
really giving him the business, and if he hadn't have suffered that really nasty cut,
Yeah.
I believe Klitschko would have won that fight.
Yeah.
So, but, you know,
Well, my
it is what it
final
is.
word is something I saw. It was the headliner on the news today, and oh my God, ABC News made it sound like it was going to be the Wild Wild West in New York. Supreme Court expands gun rights in major Second Amendment ruling, and what this has to do with was a 6-3 decision to invalidate New York's law. And the New York law, it issued, at issue, required concealed carry permit applicants to demonstrate a special need for a license. beyond a basic desire for self-defense, a special need for a license beyond a basic desire for self-defense. In striking down the law, the court's conservatives ruled that the so-called proper cause requirement prevented law-abiding citizens, let me repeat that, law-abiding citizens with ordinary self-defense needs from exercising their right to keep and bear arms. Because how many times have we said it, Dan? The bad guys are going to get guns. They're going to get guns.
Bad guys are going to get guns. Crazy people are going to get guns. I mean, and I'm all for states' rights. And if the states want to extend these probation periods or background checks, that's fine and dandy, and I have no problem with that. But yeah, you're not going to keep outlaws from getting guns. And unfortunately, some crazy people are going to get a hold of it. It's going to be a gun. It's going to be a knife. It'll be an automobile. It'll be a hammer. Whatever they can get their hands on.
You can't outlaw all of that. You can't do that. I mean, yeah. So I'm very happy to see this. I'm very happy to see it. And my brother and I are both ex-military, and we definitely believe in the right to bear arms, no doubt.
Absolutely, man. When
Now,
the people lose the right to arm themselves,
that's when
totalitarianism
starts. That's when dictatorships start. I mean, the first thing they do is get rid of the guns. That's the first thing they do.
Yep.
So, all right, this last one, Danny's last word today. It's, I believe, a little bit of a personal matter with him.
Oh, it's no doubt, and it's exciting news, right? Coming out of Northwestern. Long story short, and this video that's attached here is really comprehensive, and I've put it up on my Facebook and Twitter.
And what website is this from? Northwestern Now?
Right.
Northwestern Now. That's newsnorthwestern.edu. You can go look at this. Dancing molecules successfully repair severe spinal cord injuries. After single injection, paralyzed animals regained ability to walk within 4 days. Wow.
It's exciting news, dude. It's exciting, and I think this article is 7 months old. So, and if you watch the video, the head of the research on this is talking about they're going to the FDA for, to apply for human trials, and it's exciting news, man. Long story short, they've introduced some molecules that otherwise the dormant cells, the receptors that the conduit to send signals throughout the body when the spinal cord is damaged. To date, the body hasn't been able to. We don't have that capability to regenerate, and this research has shown that it can be done. So, I mean, at least with mice. So that's where it always starts. But it's exciting news, man. And hopefully, they'll get the approval to continue it to the human trials. And hey, I would love to see my son walk again someday. And it's also been, they're expanding it to maybe, other neurological deficiencies, Alzheimer's, things of that nature. So there's good news out there, as far as our
yeah, no doubt. It's not all doom and gloom, system, folks. So, it's not all doom and gloom. There's just as, let me tell you something, guys. What makes this place worth fighting for is there's good out there. You hear a lot about the bad, but there's good out there. It's just that bad makes bigger headlines. That's all.
No doubt.
So
circling back to this thing here. This is it's far-reaching, not just for spinal cord injury. It can help a lot of different things, and so let's cross our fingers and pray about it, and hopefully, they can continue on with their research, man, and really be able to make those miracles happen.
Yeah, let's everybody say a prayer about it. If you're not a Christian, get those positive, get your positive spirituality on. Let's see what happens.
Your belief system is, man. Just think and feel, for good for the human race, man.
For sure.
Everybody needs a good thing. So.
All right. Before we get out of here, I always like to let you guys know what's going on with the channel. Of course, every Tuesday, Saturday, and Sunday, you can watch me work on The Privateer, comic book more than 20 years in the making. I actually plotted out page 1 this Tuesday. You'll see me sketch on that some more this Saturday. It's always at 4 Central, 5 Eastern. I go for about an hour just working on it. I got all the promotional posters done for the Comic-Con, and now I'm working on the book. I have cracked the seal on it, and everything's flowing. So we got that going on. And then
Exciting news, dude. Exciting news,
and
man.
then, of course, we've got on my nights off to keep my schedule correct, I have a few cocktails, and we have video games, cocktails, and fails with Papa Joe Gamer up way too late from Monday at midnight to 3 and 1 to 4 Eastern.
Love that picture.
Yeah, I know you do. And then, well, I picked it for it's supposed to be cocktails and fails, man. I'm supposed to be, and dude, if you ever watch that, yeah, I fail all over the place. It's ridiculous, man. It's funny. We have a good time with it. Ken's watched it before. He's probably off of lunch now, but anyway. And don't forget this show every Thursday, 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern, right here on Twitch. The Brothers Hack the Matrix. It's a talk show of me and Hylunder, my brother, and it's born of conversations we had when he was driving home on a long commute in a major city in the U.S. He's got like an hour and a half ride, and he calls his family just to talk about all the stuff we love and what's going on in the world. So that's what we do here on the channel, and I want to tell you guys to have a good week, and we'll see you next week. And in the meantime, you guys all just keep on keeping on.
God bless. God bless.